Greetings. Two words: created and made. And those two words will take us back to the beginning. At the end of the sixth day, it is written, and God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. Everything he had made was very good. But as I have said before, everything he created, we are told, or I should say, we are not told, was very good. And why is that? Because Isaiah said this. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. And here it is. In Isaiah. So the Lord said, I create evil. Therefore, at the end of the sixth day, evil had been created. And what did he say? I create darkness. We know darkness was there in the first day. So why is this significant? Because we must understand from the beginning. On the fifth day, two living creatures were created. I had gone over this before. Enoch and Leviathan in those books that were taken out. Second Esdras, we are told, Leviathan and Enoch over here. Then didst thou ordain two living creatures, the one callest Enoch, and the other Leviathan. Second Esdras. What is the significance of that? They were created the fifth day, and they were created in the water. But they had to be separated. Leviathan remained in the water, and Enoch upon dry land. This we must understand, because this is the battle between the creatures of the dry land and the creatures of the sea. Evil was found in Leviathan. Pride. In the book of Job, we are told about Leviathan. In here. Canst thou draw out Leviathan. And at the end of that chapter, we are told he is the king of the children of pride. He beholdeth all things. He is a king over all the children of pride. But he is in the sea. Enoch was given the dry land. So the battle began the 5th day. Now death. What is this having to do with death? Again, in those books that were taken out, one is called the Wisdom of Solomon. And it is saying here about death. For God made not death. Made. Made is different than create. Create is when God will make something that is, but then he will create. But made is when that thing was created, but then made is taking that and making of it something different than what it began with. So we can make things from things that have been created, but we cannot create God. He can create. But it is not as if he is taking something that he did not have. He is creating something that he had. But it is different when he is making of it something other than what it was when it was first created. At this point, the depth of what I am saying will not readily be understood. But the seed of what I am saying must be planted. The Lord shall give the increase to all of us in this understanding. This will take me to what is called the revelation of Jesus Christ. And in that book, we know John wrote it because we are told by John. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. Very clearly, right here, to John. so we know. But later in this book, we have two beasts. One from the sea that we have been told about so often by the false teachers. But we are not told about the other beast. See, in order to be deceived by the beast of the sea, the people of the earth must be led astray by the beast that shall come out of the earth. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. He came out of the sea. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So here, right here, we are told about this other beast. Coming out of the earth. And what did he do? And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. What did this beast from the earth coming out of the earth do? Led the people of the earth to follow the first beast of the sea. The battle is between those of the earth and those of the sea. But the sons of God are a part of neither earth nor sea, because they are sons of God. Adam, a man, was created in the image of God. We are told Adam, which was the Son of God. It is hard for some Gentiles to understand Israel. And when I say Israel, I mean when Israel is called the sons of God. Because they look and they say, how can we be equal to Israel if they are the sons of God? But remember the mystery that Paul said, and I will read it again. How that by revelation he made known unto me the mystery, as I wrote afore in few words, whereby when you read you may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Christ, which in other ages was not made known unto the sons of men, that the Gentiles should be fellow heirs, and of the same body and partakers of his promise in Christ by the gospel. That is why when Paul could preach Jesus and the Jews did not get angry, once he preached that the Gentiles can come in, that was it. They could not listen to another word. But today, it is similar to those that cannot listen to another word when a Jew will say, Israel, we are the sons of God, and they are offended because the Gentiles have been given the truth, and Israel hath been blinded. But the Gentiles are being hindered. The key of knowledge is being kept from them, and they are not aware of it. But as they become aware of this knowledge, they will understand. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. He is not a new creation. He is a new creature. Right here. When words get changed, they lead us astray. So again, the end of the sixth day. What God made was very good. But He, God, is telling us He created evil. He created darkness. And we're told about the darkness the first day. But we are not told about Leviathan and Enoch until 2nd Esdras. And the sea and the earth would become battlegrounds. In our day, money, how we're told what money is, why the word currency, why not current money, as it is written about Abraham in his day. Over here, current money. Why is that significant? Because words reveal the thought. Change the word, change the thought. Currency. What do we know as currency? The sea. What do we know as current money? Paper. But if this paper can destroy all the borders between nations, then the earth will become like the sea. In the sea there are no borders. How can there be? But on dry land, there are borders separating nations. Each nation is with a sovereign. As it was, sovereigns were known as kings. But in our day, we are seeing these kings are being judged. And how are they being judged? They're being judged by the very people that they ruled. But what is happening is the people are becoming how the sovereigns were, as evil as the sovereigns. But there are some people, they had the heart to make things right, to bring forth the judgment that they were supposed to bring forth, with the hope that the people would see that they have been given a power to do the right thing. But in order for them to do the right thing, they have to have the right spirit, and they must have the right heart. For right in the beginning, when the sovereigns began to be judged, what happened? The very people that were supposed to have the right heart were overrun by those that the kings used to creep in unawares and seek to destroy the judgment that was coming upon the kings. If this is not understood, it cannot be understood where things are today. The judgment that is coming upon these people for generations that have sought to hinder the judgment of the sovereigns of this world and have sought to destroy the people, not the sovereigns. But the people do not have the knowledge of this because they have been made to be busy, to be working, not to have leisure to think upon what is happening. Therefore, everything they know or believe to be the truth is a lie. And how is it made? Similar to being in a box. What they see is on television. What they hear is on the radio. What they read in the book. Nothing is coming from outside of that box. And if it should, they will be mocked. Some will be killed. Because outside of that box is revelation from God. And once that revelation will come inside the box, then light is brought in. And darkness is hating the light. That is what is happening today. God did not make death. Once again, in the books that were taken out, one of them is called The Wisdom of Solomon. And here we are told, for God made not death. Made. It is not saying he did not create death. Made. When we hear the word made, that is taking something that was created and making it for a different way. So who made death? Well, let us see how death is talked about. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. Death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. So how is it? Death is separated from the lake of fire. Hell is separated from the lake of fire. There are the 4 horses. And one of the horses is written like this. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. His name that sat on him was Death. Some would say, oh, that is not a person, that is only, as they would say, personifying death. Well, what evidence do they have to say that? I can only go by what it is saying. Man became made. How did he become made? Let us make man in our image. Death was made. But first it had to be created. But then it was made into something. And what is the enemy of life but death? Adam chose death. So he could not eat from the tree of life. In the law of Moses, choose ye this day life or death. So we have the battle between good and evil. But who created evil? God said he did. This must be understood. Because if we do not know the battle, if we do not know who we are fighting, how do we know how to fight? And who do we know who to fight? Made and created. Two different words. But the depth of it must be understood. Even to this day, I do not understand the depth of it, but I know it is significant. And every day, the understanding is coming. So I say to you, when someone will say, there is no difference between made and created, ask them, why are the two words used? Why did God say he created evil? Why did he say all that he made was very good? But he did not say all that he created was very good. Why did he say that it was not good that the man was alone? Why was it said after the sixth day? Why was it made after he was formed from the dust of the ground? Because now man was alone. He was not male and female. These are the questions that must be asked. These are the questions that must be pondered. If we do not have leisure time to ponder them, we will not know the truth. If we are too busy serving mammon, getting what we can from this world, then we deserve the reward we get. But the Lord hath so much more for us. And we must desire to seek it. There is a proverb. And the proverb is telling us that the Lord shall hide a matter. If I can find it, I shall read it. It is the honor. Well, let me first see if I can find it. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. We have been made kings and priests. It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, but it is the honor of kings to search out a matter. By the grace of God, may we search and may we find and may we give God the glory. Be well.